Trying to live your life in a way to survive is a lie. Doing exactly what you're supposed to do in a society that criminalizes your existence is part of the problem. Because you believing that by you doing exactly what you believe you're supposed to be doing, that same belief, if in alignment with the white supremacist mode of operation and domination that seeks to inflict control over you, then doing what you believe you are supposed to be doing, what the mode of operation wants you to do, is the most destructive thing that you possibly can do, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try to break down what I mean by that high level concept in very simple words, in an easier to understand and digest way. We wake up every day, we go to work, some of us go to school, we, go home, fill up the gas tank, go feed our families, go to eat, go to sleep, repeat, and everything else. It's not until you get pulled over by the police, it's not until you face the inevitable, which is some mechanism of white supremacy, that you then realize doing exactly everything right is going to get you killed regardless. You're still going to be subjected to the ruthlessness of a white supremacist system. And it's not just bound to white supremacy. White supremacy is the mode of operation that we are currently under. But it really is a system of domination and control. And the only way that you could break that is, first of all, you have to leave your comfort zone with the belief that somehow doing exactly what you're supposed to do, or trying to assimilate or integrate within a European system, is going to somehow allow you to escape the realities of being Black, because it's not going to. You may not experience, by trying to assimilate to the system, you may not experience the overt reality of the system, but you are still subjected to the covert system that is designed to dominate you. And the only way that's going to break is when this system has to be destroyed from the ground up. Ultimately, that is a part of the repair, is the complete destruction of this system. But I cannot see us destroying the system until I know that we could replace this system with something better. And we have the means and mechanisms to protect whatever we decide to bring about after the system. Because if we destroy the system, but do not have the means to replace it and protect the system that we bring about afterwards, then whatever comes about after from us destroying the system is going to be far worse than what we are currently going through, or potentially far worse. So, this becomes the life or death question. We're going to have to die in this fight for a chance to not only survive, but thrive. There's no reason for Africa to sell raw minerals to an unresourced Europe and an unresourced West, only for that unresourced West in Europe and now currently China to build weapons that are used against Africa to keep them in a poverty-stricken state, keep them in a dominated control state. Now I understand. Hold on, let me on the light. I understand that is not a system that is controlled by the will of the people of Africa or from around the world. We didn't create, we did not, bring that system, but we maintain that system because we buy from the corporations that have mineral extracting operations in Africa. Bloodshed comes about from the extraction of those resources. So we fund our own collective demise. Another way we aid our enemy is because what ends up happening is we suffer from a brain drain in the Black community in America, but across the world, which is our smartest and our brightest, are invited to disintegrate into white systems, white society, white schools, etc., at the expense of our collective liberation, because now their intellectual capital is being used to assist with the further exploitation and domination of us as a people. So the way that we stop that, it's not just going to come about, well, we need to have our own school system. Of course we need to have our own school system. That's one way to do it. But it goes beyond just having our own school system. We have to have our own military. We have to have our own land. We have to have our own sovereignty. And sovereignty is not going to come with asking to have sovereignty. Sovereignty is going to come when we take that. And we absolutely have the ability to do that. But how that's going to come about is going to be the question. Because if you are in a situation, which we currently find ourselves, where one, we don't even have leverage, so we have no power. But let's just say collectively we did have power. Power is the ability to get things done despite oppositional forces. We don't practice that as much as we should. Because in order to true power, what that looks like is the ability to dominate if at will. If we choose to dominate Europe, if we choose to dominate America, if we choose to dominate the Middle East, we have the option to do that. Europeans' biggest fear is that we're going to do to them what they have done to us. And I don't believe that we will, because that's not in our nature, collectively. But that is in their nature to do that. That's why they have that fear. But what I do believe will happen is that we will have power to control our own destiny and to ensure what has happened and what is happening in 2024 will never happen again. That is why it is so important that we become the most powerful and dominant group in the world. When I say group, I'm not just talking about here, Black American. I'm talking about African people across the continent, global power.